So throughout my hard-hitting pet journalism, the number one question I get is, where did Nutland get her name? What is that name, Nutland? It's so unique. We never heard nothing like that before. Where did it come from? So I think this is a great question, and I love talking about it. But first, before we get into anything, I'd like to do a quick phonetic analysis of Nutland's name, just so we know where we're at pronunciation-wise. It's not pronounced exactly like it's spelled, like this, Nutland, but rather it's pronounced Nutland, Nutland. And you'll hear in the center, it's not a T sound, but rather it's a glottal stop. That's what that's called, Nutland, Nutland. The same way that in English we pronounce the words mountain or Latin. We don't say mountain or Latin, we say mountain, Latin. So there's a complete break in between those words, just like Nutland. So if you were to record the word Nutland and analyze the waveform of that recording, Nutland, Nutland, you would see the complete absence of vocalization in the center. So that's a glottal stop. So that's where we are at on how to correctly pronounce Nutland, Nutland, I love Nutland. So you see, I do use my university degree every once in a while, every so often. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for buying it for me. I do use it. So I thought to myself, what better day to tell the origin story of Nutland's name than this, her big 12th birthday. So the year was 2011. Adele was topping the charts with her sophomore album 21. The space shuttle program completed its final mission with the landing of Atlantis, and Charlie Sheen was like doing all that crazy stuff and saying all that crazy stuff. Nutland and I had been together for a little over a year at that point. I was 24 years old, and Nutland was just only 3 years old only. And we were living here at 4219 Avenue d'Esplanade, right across from beautiful Parc Jean-Mance at the base of Montreal, in the heart of Montreal's beautiful plateau. And we were living fast, baby. We were doing a big-time party rock and roll lifestyle. I had taken some time off school and I was working in bars and doing rock and roll stuff, and we were partying big time and doing nighttime parties and all that. But a crucial detail here is the fact that Nutland did not yet go by the name Nutland, but rather by her original name she came with, Peanut. And we also had Netflix for the first time. And that's when we started watching David Lynch's incredible 1990 mystery horror drama television series Twin Peaks. And it was and remains one of our favorite television series of all time. So fans of Twin Peaks will certainly be familiar with the character Leland Palmer, iconically played by Ray Wise. And so Leland Palmer is the father of Laura Palmer, and he is nuts. And when she goes dead and gets dead, oh boy, he really loses it. So I quickly became completely captivated with the character of Leland Palmer. I think he's arguably one of the most insane and hilarious and just mesmerizing characters ever written for television. And then I also really loved his name, Leland. I like that name, Leland. And I started putting it together. Peanut, Leland, Peanut, Leland, Peanut, Lind. And every time Nutland was acting crazy, which often happened, I would call her Nutland Palmer. I'd be like, don't be Nutland Palmer. Nutland, you're being crazy. Don't be Nutland Palmer. And because Nutland is more often crazy than regular, the name really stuck and became Nutland. So if you really want the short, abbreviated, abridged Cole's Note answer of the question, where did Nutland get her name? Well, she's sort of named after Leland Palmer from Twin Peaks. So there you have it. And you know what? This story might be leaving some of you wondering, yeah, sure, but how did Nutland come to even be with you? And where did you guys come to be together? And how are you guys together? And where did she come into your life? Well, that's another story for another day, and a long story for another day. And I hope that the day that I tell that other story on a different day, a long story, that you'll join me once again on that long, different story for that time, on that different day.